Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine and this is going to be the May reading for Taurus. I had to think for a second. What's the other sign? I apologize, the reading's getting out a little late. I haven't been feeling well. But I wanted to get them done. So keep in mind that these readings are general. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Also keep in mind that I may be describing actions that you're taking or someone else is taking, or actions you're initiating, or a situation that's being presented to you. So again, apply it as it may fit your situation. Also, I usually say in the regular readings, masculine and feminine stand more for energy than gender. I feel the same applies in regards to the people on the cards, because obviously there are same-sex couples. So again, I would say that it's kind of the same thing, that it may represent the energy more than the gender. But again, if I describe a certain thing, there's a female on the card, but it's describing you and you're a male, again, apply it as it may fit to your situation. If you'd like a personal reading, all the information is below. And check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus to get additional messages. And there wasn't anything else I wanted to say. I think that's it until the end. When I say my other little spiel. What we have here is what you're going to be dealing with in May. And this is Spirit's advice in regards to it. This is why it's happening, how you're thinking and feeling about it, what you should be aware of that might help you in the situation, what is the higher message involved, and what is the advice. And then we may clarify with the Sibyls if I feel I need to. But these bottom row cards are the cards, and the additional ones are the clarifiers. So again, I might not need to, with the exception of this row. This is just free fall of what came out. Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. I went for a walk today, down the beach, trying to clear my mind. And that beach air, every time I do that walk and I come back, it's like I feel like I've been hit by a truck. But anyway, let's see what's going on. We'll start off with this. This is to be fair. So again, this is the advice in regards to this. To be fair. Let's see. Yeah, that beach air sure does wipe you out. Excuse me. See? I told you. Essential meanings: balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. The Oracle's message: life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. Relationship message: can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is the time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective. weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. Prosperity message: now is a time for even exchanges. Justice will prevail, and you will be treated accordingly in all your affairs. You will be able to negotiate fair settlements. Mutual gain is the gift to you and your partners and colleagues. This is also a good time to square your finances and take stock of how you are compensated for your work. This card signifies balance, justice, and negotiations. So remember that all things must be fairly recompensed. I struggle with some of these words here. Keep this as your truth, and so it will be. Protection message: injustice and inequity are part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice, right it, and fairly redress. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. Choose your cause and commit to it because you can make a difference. One thing is for certain: if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. I also struggle too because, as we age, small print books are not our friends. So sometimes I struggle with the word. I can't pronounce it, or I can't freaking see it. One of the two. The joy. Anywho, so obviously there's something involving justice to some degree because we have justice in the reverse. And then we also have the star. And the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse. The Magician. And the Ace of Pentacles. Well, at least these two cards are good, right? Even if the Justice is upside down. And this card is good too. Let us see. Justice, of course, speaks of justice, justice systems, karmic justice, fairness, truth, again, cause and effect. Did I say the justice system? I think I did. In reverse, though, it speaks about unfairness, lack of accountability, dishonesty to self and others, unwillingness to understand the deeper meaning of why an event has occurred, missing an opportunity for greater understanding of yourself in life, not holding oneself accountable, trying to dodge the bullet and blame others for your mistakes, a need to take responsibility. You're here through your own choices. Whatever it takes to get out of the situation is fair according to karma, justice. Need to release judgments of self and other things. Might need to be more flexible, but just. And in regards to any kind of legal things, it's about an unfair outcome, bias, failing to see a truth, needing to have a balanced view. Also could mean divorce. Now, the star speaks about hope, healing. I put some things here describing the different aspects of the card. Intuition, inner resources, inner voice, a need to open and cleanse one's chakras, The little stars symbolize the structure. There's all kinds of little meanings you can pick out in here. So maybe you're needing some balancing. Maybe whatever it is that you're going through here is leaving you feeling all out of sorts. So maybe you need to work on doing some chakra cleaning, clearing. We'll be all right. It's strength and the quality to accept your faults and love yourself in spite of them. It's renewed hope, faith, healing. I don't know if I've said these already in the beginning. Courage, deeper understanding of self and others, transformation, forgiveness. And also forgiving so that we can be able to embrace new opportunities, because we're clearing that energy out. It's meaning, purpose, perspective. It's the call of destiny that compels you to go on. It's the renewal of self-esteem. It's trust in oneself, faith and belief in oneself. So inspiration as well. Hope, spirituality, renewal, serenity, and inspiration. Now, if you've gone through something where you feel was unfair or unjust, you're either trying to remain hopeful about the situation, or you're hoping to heal again from a situation. It's also, again, just like these two cards are talking about, being able to see things from a different perspective, and gaining deeper insight into the situation that you're in. Try to find, the deeper meaning of the why this happened. And it's also to have, the courage and faith, and again, renewed hope to move forward past this experience. Because we have I was going to say the Queen. I'm really tired. We have the Nine of Pentacles lady. In the upright, it's all about luxury and self-sufficiency, and she's got all her pentacles. She's in the garden. She's got it all going for herself there. But in the reverse, it could speak about financial setbacks. So again, if you went through anything in the justice system or something, and maybe you went through a divorce that caused some kind of financial setbacks, or again, there might be something that happened that you feel on the short end of the stick of, I guess, perhaps you might be having some regrets, or felt like you made some unwise decisions or actions and needing to learn from them. Again, and trying to have renewed hope and faith and courage to, again, move forward and embrace new opportunities. It also speaks about over-investing in something. It's a need to, speaking of the beach and all of that, it says here a need to get out in a natural setting, forest, garden, beach, whatever. So again, maybe that will help you to kind of clear your mind, clear out the energy that's lingering here. through this experience, to try to create some balance again within yourself. It's a need to evaluate and create balance in your work or your personal life. It's maybe a need to reduce your dependence on maintaining a certain lifestyle. So, again, if you've gone through something that you hit a little financial hiccup because of it, maybe we're needing to reevaluate our financial stuff. Um, and it says here also, too, there's a resistance or disbelief in the self and what you can achieve. So, again, whatever you went through here, it might have made you feel, it might have dented your self-esteem a little, which is why we have the star here saying to, again, work on healing yourself from this experience. Learn what you need to from it. Change your perspective on again, why it happened, people's roles in it. Everybody's accountable for their own choice. Even in crappy relationships, it's, well, I chose that person. I chose to stay in it. I chose to keep believing their baloney. I chose to, so it's kind of like, even though someone else might have done things, from a serving their own interest standpoint, again, we have to be responsible for allowing this person in our space, allowing them to stay in our space, and giving them the kind of the rope to hang us with. But again, it's about everybody being accountable for what they've brought to this situation. And again, it's like we can't point the finger at just one person. We got to accept responsibility for our own choices as well. But again, everything's a learning experience. The Two of Pentacles here is in reverse. It feels financial disarray. So again, I don't know if something set you back financially, because Pentacles, again, deals with money. We have Ace of Pentacles here, which we'll get to. It's also feeling disorganized, struggling to maintain our finances, feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities. Again, if your life has gone through some kind of upheaval or has suffered some kind of financial loss, it can make you feel a little all over the place, trying to get your footing again, I should say. I need to budget, watch your spending. Need to be organized and planned in one's approach into what it is you're going to do next. Now, I believe too that the Nine of Pentacles lady in the reverse is someone who doesn't want to be single. So again, and maybe we're fearing like having to start over as well, being alone, and we don't want to be. Again, maybe a relationship is ending, and that relationship, aside from whatever other issues we might encounter over here that was going on, it definitely hit you financially somewhat. You took a hit. But again, there could be also of not wanting to be alone, after this. Sometimes too, I mean, if you're in a relationship for a long time, you can view it like as like a failure, um, or just things not working out the way that you had hoped for. So there's some feelings here again of trying to figure out a way of how we're going to move forward again, and there had to be a lesson involved in this somewhere for you in regards to perhaps what you allowed, what you tolerated. And it could be, we have a lot of issues with people in codependent relationships. Maybe you had somebody who was taking advantage of you financially or was with you for just that reason. Um, so that could also be a possibility, and now perhaps we're feeling some kind of way about it. But again, we get what we allow. Everything's a lesson. So there's something in here that you learned in regards to allowing too much, I feel. Allowing someone else to take advantage in some way. Well, we have here the magician. And this is symbolizing, you have everything you need to manifest a new beginning. It's skill and logic. It's, having the power to create a new life for yourself. It's taking initiative, having optimism in regards to manifesting, pursuing your goals, trying to find creative ways to solve problems, again, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your power and your independence. Like it says, maybe you might be feeling all like you have to, like you're afraid of having to start over. But they're saying that you can, to have the courage to move forward, focus on healing, get your stuff figured out. You can manifest a new beginning for yourself. It's setting clear intentions. It's also becoming aware, again, because you've gone through something here. You learned something. So it's having a higher awareness of the self, of the relationship, of, what you want, what you don't want, what you settle for, what you won't settle for. And then, of course, the Ace of Pentacles is like the hand from the universe bringing you a gift. It's about commitment and stability, laying the groundwork for that. It's Pentacles, so it's earthly, it's tangible. It's also could be possible marriage. Speaking of marriage here, it's a new investment, willingness for a new venture, prosperity, growth, wealth. Something that should be accepted joyfully, an opportunity. It's about law of attraction, asking you to be positive in order to receive and manifest your goals. You got the magician right next to it. So it's like try to think positive about your future. Again, it's about opportunity. I need to introduce something new into your life. here. So let us see why this is happening. Oops. We got mistake, peace, and diligence. So again, either we're feeling like we made a mistake and we're trying to find some inner peace within ourselves, some healing. We're trying to focus on ourselves. We're being diligent. Excuse me. Again, trying to manifest something new for ourselves. This speaks about like putting in the work. Or someone else feels like they made a mistake and they're wanting to make peace and they're wanting to put in the effort. We have here growth, strength, and fame. So this could be speaking of, again, either you or someone else is hoping that there could be growth in a situation, or you have grown in wisdom, etc., from having gone through a situation. Fame speaks about success, wanting success, having success, because we, again, and even failures are a success because it taught you something. Always try to think of it that way. I think I'll clarify more over here in a second. We have brown-haired woman, friend, good news. So the brown-haired woman is either you, and again, I don't know if you, because we got surprise here, so somebody could be hearing from somebody, and hoping that it's good news. Again, hoping perhaps to have a new opportunity in something. And then we have fair gray-haired woman, new beginnings, inspiration. So fair gray-haired woman is someone usually in her 40s and up. It's someone who's mature or who has matured through a situation. And we speak about here new beginnings and inspiration, and we have magician and the Ace of Pentacles. So there is either you or somebody's wanting that with you. We have here destruction, spiritual, and wisdom. So again, there was something learned here. Spiritual speaks about healing. It speaks about, our spiritual path, spiritually based relationships, again, soulmates, twin flames. It speaks again about spiritual guidance, our higher knowing, our higher self, the wisdom that we've gained through a situation, through something that ended badly, or something that is going to be ending. This destruction is like the tower. This again is like the wake-up call as well. Something that's been kind of painful but necessary again for our growth. It's something that shifts our perspective on things. That's why we have wisdom and spiritual here too. And then we have scandal, truth, change, communication, frustration, surprise. So obviously scandal and truth, either somebody in communication, either somebody's wanting things to change through some communication, either you or someone else is going to deliver some kind of message, either maybe even revealing some truths in regards to what's happened, hoping things will change, or you could have wanted this, and this is the frustration is there because either you learn something, you learn the truth about something. You have learned the truth about something, and it totally changed what you thought was. And it could have left you feeling, distraught, depressed, upset about receiving this information or this news or this truth for some of you or for everybody. Let us see. I don't know if I feel well, let me clarify these. I don't know if I feel like for some of you, this could be a relationship is ending unexpectedly because you're getting some information, perhaps about somebody wanting to go back to someone from their past, and you totally didn't see this coming, and now and perhaps the person that you were with again was with you for codependent reasons, not really love, um, and you kind of like getting the truth of that. But again, perhaps maybe you jumped into something without really knowing the person. So, this could also be a possibility. You didn't really know what this person was about. So again, they portrayed themselves as something that they weren't, and now they might be trying to like get out of the situation, but it might have taken you completely by surprise. Because again, you thought something was one way, but it wasn't. And now you're thinking, I don't want to be by myself, and this person could have been, again, a financial drain on you. But it's kind of like, again, we're having to be accept responsibility for our own naivete, I guess, in some ways of trusting people that we shouldn't trust, without really knowing them. That's for some of you. I feel like that was a message for some of you. Okay, let us see. Inspiration, we have messenger, messengare, I'm sorry. This is, a message from a distance. Good news, bad news. Let me see good news. Hold on. Let me see good news. Good news, we have la fidelta. So this is loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, friendship. And that's on good news. Surprise. We have La Vecchia Signora, but in the reverse, La Vecchia Signora in the upright. It symbolizes somebody, it's almost like the fair gray-haired woman. It's someone who's in their 40s and up. This is also symbolizing the past or someone from the past, but it's in the reverse. Let me see. This is perhaps where the frustration is coming in. And we have Lanemica, which is the female foe. Someone who's conspiring against us, or this is somebody who's just angry, resentful. Oof. Gran Signore, but in the reverse. This is not a good character in the reverse. Could be somebody who's narcissistic. And then we have La Costanza, which is about persevering. Let me see. Something in decline. It's also wisdom. We have wisdom over here. Again, wisdom, just like learning something. Experience. Disagreements, fights, discussions, greed, living in the past, shadiness. And the Gran Signore, it's all about shadiness. Sorry, dude. I feel like it feels like things are dragging. Maybe the music. Maybe because I'm tired. Maybe I feel like I'm gonna put everybody to sleep. Hold on. Lanemica. Well, the female Lanemica. I already know this one. Again, it's also a female rival, competitor, the other woman. So I said I feel like for some of you, maybe somebody is perhaps looking to go back to someone from their past. And we have here the Gran Signore. This is like on surprise. The Gran Signore in the reverse. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Unfaithful. Manipulative. So again, either, again, you're finding out that you were dealing with someone who was a bit manipulative, perhaps, again, using you for codependent reasons or in it for codependent reasons. Some people might be looking to go back to someone from their past. Again, and this is causing this kind of feeling, or again, this is you this is you unhappy with someone who you discovered was manipulative or whatever. That's why there was a falling out. And again, or somebody might be trying to communicate that they want some kind of new beginning with you, But you could be, you know, reflecting on the past, or there's going to be some talks about things that happened in the past, you know, and how they want to persevere now, they want to move forward or give it another try. Or where's the which ever since I started incorporating these reversals, it takes me twice as long because I have to look things up. But you know, it's good to know, because again, some of the meanings here you would never even think to be associated with the card. The Castans again: constancy, perseverance, immutability, stability, long lasting, objective reach with effort and sacrifice. Loyal, reliable, hardworking, committed, dependable. So yeah, maybe somebody's trying to say that that's how they are now. See how that flipped out? Truth, we have a Belvedere, but in the reverse. Belvedere speaks about having foresight, seeing, having a long-term vision, um, or something coming in that's, you know, good news, like off in the distance, the arrival of something. But in the reverse, it's something best kept at a distance, or it's not being able to see. Not being able to see long term. This was on truth. Because maybe you don't feel like somebody can change. Truth, we have love reunion, but in the reverse. So again, this is a falling out of a relationship. Domestico deals with domestic matters, you know, living situation. It's also somebody, it's like the servant, the helper, someone who's helpful, or someone who also is, you know, serves more their own interests. Again, perhaps somebody who's codependent. And then we have la conversación, which is about having conversations, obviously. And in the reverse, this is like delayed breakdown in communication, delayed communications. Belvedere, again, reverse, delayed news, arrival of something or someone best kept at a distance, unfortunate news on the way. Again, this is with the truth. So again, I think that for some of you, there's something that was learned here that was unexpected. And it's causing the end of a relationship for some of you. Let me see this. Domestico again, servant, helper, employee, collaborator, helpful young man, known by the querent, son, friend, colleague, employee, co-worker, etc. Domestic matters. And again, it could be somebody who's kind of serves their own interests. And this is all on truth, by the way. Sorry if it takes me time to look stuff up. I'm trying to give you more messages. Again, because there's so many people watching that try to get in as many scenarios as possible. How is it that I can go down the page, look at it, and miss it? Can you please tell me? Can you please tell me? How? 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 Yeah, look at this. I passed it. It was on the second page. Terrible. The reunion again in the reverse. Uncertainty, doubtful period, sadness, depression over a relationship. Lack of communication, arguments, again, with la conversación in the reverse. All right, before we spend 3 hours trying to look at the damn reversals. I wish I had photographic memory. Because again, I wouldn't recall some of those things on there. What you need to know or be aware of to kind of help you out in this situation. We have the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. Again, in the reverse, this is in the challenge position. And the High Lord of gratitude and service. In the ally position, selflessness, humility, conscious action. So what does it say? So you see manipulation in there. In that Grand Signore. Even the magician here isn't in the reverse. The magician also can be somebody who's manipulative. 16. The Shadow Queen gently asks you to address your innermost character flaws with compassion. For now it's time to bring your wounded self and hidden agendas into the light. You're seeing the tangible results of those aspects of your nature that have evolved in response to the difficulties in your life. They've been a means to help you survive. Perhaps you're falling prey to insecurity, masked as elitism and arrogance, believing that you know best, to comparing yourself with others, or to being fearful and self-sabotaging. You may have been taught that manipulating others rather than being direct is the way to get your needs met. The Shadow Queen reminds you that manipulation in any form isn't the best method of getting what you want. Another meaning that can also apply is the possibility that you're being affected by someone else's wounded self. Perhaps you are the one being manipulated. Whatever the case, it's time to take a fearless personal inventory and observe what part you play in the dramas and potential disasters in your life. When you come to the place of humility, forgiveness, and grace, then you may proceed again and walk into the light. There is a great value and strength in facing your own shadow in the realm of the Shadow Queen. So again, it's about, jumping in, was not looking before we leapt, or not knowing someone well enough before we took them in, or whatever the situation is. It's about living and learning, for sure. And again, everybody's accountable for their own choices and actions, not just the person who did the worst of it, but also for anyone who kind of kept the rose-colored glasses on for too long, or didn't want to see for their own reasons what was happening. And again, it's I said in the beginning, there's definitely a lesson involved here, for sure. And it had to do a lot with jumping the gun, not seeing things for what they were, not having healthy boundaries, perhaps again allowing someone to just kind of take advantage and perhaps we're realizing some truths about some person's, manipulations, or the truth about a situation, and it's causing upset and upheaval and fears again of starting over, or not wanting to be alone, single, and now being a little bit financially tapped out because of this person or this situation. But again, it's about, living, learning, growth, trying to have the courage to move forward, trying to be at peace with oneself, try to get oneself in balance. It's to have hope for the future, that you can manifest something that is better, um, something that is, stable, someone who will be committed. And again, if it's not about a living and learning and you cutting ties and you're separating, again, you could have went through something with somebody and you learned all this stuff, and people again learning, changing, growing, perhaps communicating that they want some kind of new beginning. This could also be possible, or you are wanting that with someone, because again, we've lived, we've learned. But there is some kind of manipulation going on. Otherwise, that wouldn't have turned up in the reverse. So just be wise. Don't manipulate, and don't let yourself be manipulated. And again, see things from a living and learning perspective, and understand again that we get what we allow, and we need to be wise in our choices from here on out. The people that we allow in our life, etc. Now, the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. The High Lord of Gratitude and Service has arrived to help you find your true purpose today, feeling gratitude for each moment you experience and loving what is and what has been. We remind you that every breath you take holds a deep and profound awareness. Through small actions and selfless service to another, you're automatically placed upon your highest path. Whether you're immediately aware of it or not, the presence of this ally lets you know that you're on the correct path to fulfilling your desires. You're also notified that your actions of service and attitude of gratitude will yield riches beyond your wildest dreams, as long as those riches aren't the goal you have in mind. Giving, huh? Wait a minute. You're also notified that your actions of service and attitude of gratitude will yield riches beyond your wildest dreams, as long as those riches aren't the goal you have in mind. Does that even make sense? Giving service with no thought of return is what's required of you today. Oh, so now I understand it. This would also be a good time to write a list reminding yourself of all the things in your life and the world around you that you have to be grateful for. If your question refers to a relationship, let gratitude be your guide. Be thankful for all you learn from this person. Truly, there are no friends and no enemies, just teachers along life's journey. Be grateful for the laughter and even for the tears. The attitude of gratitude is a magnet for true love in all forms. So again, with the spiritual wisdom and destruction there, again, there's something that happened here that kind of woke you up to something. Even as far as yourself, again, living and learning, and even being grateful for the manipulators, because they teach you not to be so trusting, or be grateful for the jerks, because again, they teach you to have boundaries. Whatever it is, whatever the lesson was, that person did their job. So you gotta just say, hey, thanks a lot, friggin'. Anyway, and here we are, boundaries. A higher message involved. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. This is either about, again, letting people take advantage, and the lesson was learning to have self-love, self-respect, boundaries, or if you get anybody trying to come back from the past, be clear about your boundaries, maintain them, don't let anybody take advantage again. And we also have action. Today I take action related to the priorities that I've previously put off. So, or maybe you need to take action on getting some boundaries. You know what I'm saying? But it's also about manifesting, you know, taking action in regards to your next steps. Um, home, I'm sorry. I trust and follow my divine guidance about my home. That's why you had the Domesco there. Must have been some living situation. Again, it could have been a marriage that ended. Um, we have hope. I trust that God has a wonderful solution and brilliant plans in store for me. So know that one door closes, another one opens. And we have hope up here, hope over here. Again, living and learning. And hey, sometimes rejection is God's protection. You gotta look at it that way too. Again, sometimes things end because it's in your best interest that they do. Self-respect. See, I knew there's something here. It always comes back down to this and these kind of soulmate relationships and stuff. You got one person that's giving everything and one person that's taking everything. One person that's running and pushing love away, another person that's chasing after it and jumping through hoops and trying to prove themselves. Again, it's all, at the end of the day, comes down to both people needing to have self-love and self-respect and have a balance within themselves, approaching relationships from a healthy perspective, not codependent ones or, wounding, childhood wounding, fear-based things, fears of being alone, fear of abandonment, whatever's going on, whatever lessons that we're needing to learn when we incarnate here. Each soul has their own journey, but obviously there was something here about self-respect and boundaries that was learned or that needs to be learned in regards to, who we entertain in our lives. Better off to be alone than with somebody who's mooching or who's with you only because of what they can get out of you. It's about having that self-love and self-respect, to not settle for that or to pay attention to red flags when we see them. And again, not jumping into situations before we really get to know somebody. Because people can wear a mask really nice in the beginning, and eventually over time you start seeing the truth of a person. So again, like I said, there was definitely something that was learned here. We have Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. Again, this could just be what it says. Even in your earthly soul's journey, remember this. That's the truth. The real Father is the Heavenly Father. But again, as I spoke about wounding, boundaries, self-love, self-respect, this always stems from some childhood wounding. Absentee father, abusive father, neglectful father. So in essence, we're always chasing our father. Or we're embodying those traits and it's causing havoc in our relationships. Because again, we imitate what we see. So there's some father issues here. And again, he says when you're hungry for love, you'll settle for crumbs. And again, if you've been a person who's a lonely person or whatever, you're a prime target for people to come in and manipulate you and take advantage of you. Watch out for those narcissists. Like I said, this magician is in the reverse, and the magician could just be an aspect of you. But we did have, the manipulation aspect come out twice. So, don't be so hungry for love that you're willing to be manipulated by smooth talkers who come in and take advantage and wreak havoc in your life. It's definitely about self-love, self-respect, boundaries, and again, in recognizing the truth of situations, before it gets to a point where it's so bad that we got no choice but to wake up to the truth of a situation. But they want you to be grateful. As I notice and appreciate my blessings, I open the door for more of God's gifts. Again, just being grateful for the lessons. Be grateful that you're even free from a situation. If some of you have gotten free from a situation, again, living and learning. And now I know, and I won't repeat the mistake. Oh, we forgot to do these over here. This is what you're thinking, feeling, doing. We have ending, power, vulnerable, woman of the world, jealousy, and doubt. Now, again, if we're dealing with a situation where woman of the world speaks about somebody who could be at a distance, or this is again like the Nine of Pentacles lady, she kind of reminds me of that, someone who's got all her stuff together, who's independent. Um, so this could be, if this is a situation that, is ending, and, somebody's going back to someone from the past. The person from the past could be someone who's at a distance. Maybe we're feeling jealous, again, jealous, angry, hurt over what's happening, because we got vulnerable here, depressed, um, and realizing, that something is ending, and just feeling the ramifications of that, or the, and we have here doubt as well, like confusion, again, because we weren't seeing this coming for some of you. Or this could be us needing to reclaim our own power, our own independence, but we're feeling still sad or depressed or whatever. Doubtful about the future, confused about what we're going to do, how we're going to move forward, what's going to happen. Jealousy also speaks about fear, taking off masks and revealing things. And for some of you that might be looking to get back with somebody, again, they could be confusion and fear and sadness or worry in regards to getting back with somebody, uncertainty. Oops, that's right. Ending relationship. Oops. Oof. And then we got double depression. We got a Malto in the reverse and melancholy in the reverse. This is like deep depression here. That's when we have the vulnerable. Woman of the world again could be, we don't want to be alone. We don't want to be single. We didn't see this coming. Jealousy. Belvedere, again, someone who could be at a distance, because we have the jealousy and the woman of the world. So again, somebody might be leaving somebody to go back to somebody who's at a distance from them. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting. The advice for you is children. Your love life is being affected by children again. Childhood wounding, childhood issues, karmic situations, because both people coming in it with karma that needs to be shed, lessons that need to be learned, childhood wounding. That's why they're such a perfect match, because broken attracts broken, even if you don't even realize the parts of you that are broken. But everything stems from childhood. Psychology and spirituality are a huge part of your existence here. And being able to connect the two and get the higher perspective of why we are the way we are, why we think the way we think about ourselves, why we keep picking the same kind of partners, why we keep ending up in the same situations, the same cycles. A lot of this has to do with childhood wounding. This is also symbolizing new beginnings. And also, some children could be involved. This could have been a marriage where, there's children involved. So the advice would be to, still love your children, protect your children, care for your children, whether or not you're with this person. I feel, again, this is more childhood wounding and beginnings. And they're telling you it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So they want you to know that don't close yourself off to love because of this experience. Still be open to new beginnings, manifesting something new, something stable, something that is committed. And then we have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So you might need to, retreat yourself, take some time for yourself, or If we're talking about reconciling with someone, like I said, they could be saying, spend some time together. It's okay to give this a new chance. You have what it takes. You have the wisdom from the past, what you learned, to manifest a new beginning, something that will be better this time around, because again, we're going to be utilizing our newfound self-respect. We're going to make sure we have our boundaries up. We're going to recognize childhood wounding and make sure that we don't slip back into things. We're going to try to have hope. Be grateful for the experience and be grateful for new opportunities. When they tell you to let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. So controlling could be even as far as trying to keep somebody we know we need to get rid of just because we don't want to be alone. That fear of letting go. Or this could be, again, fear of reconciling with someone because of past things. So they're saying, take things slow, get to know each other, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Or just allowing your life to unfold naturally. Be open to what might be coming up next. If it's, meeting someone new or whatever it is. Because this is your soulmate. Obviously, if you went through an experience with someone, most definitely they were probably your soulmate. Soulmates aren't always life partnerships. Sometimes they're just karmic. They're there to teach you a lesson and you're to move on from them. Or, like again, some people might be looking to reconcile. Yes, this is your soulmate. Or people who are moving forward. Your soulmate, another soulmate may be coming in for you because you've learned a lesson, because you've gone through something. Now you're going to attract something better, something more stable, committed. And on that note, I send you love and light. I wish you healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. And sorry if it seemed lagging in some parts, but it's for me to look up those things. Like I said, I understand how I can go over the page 3 times and I still didn't see it. I don't know. Anyway, my apologies. Take care. Until next time, bye-bye.